It's Long Story Short with Carla Marie, brought to you by Vistaprint.
Welcome to what will be another incredible episode of Long Story Short. It is a live stream and will be a podcast that comes out next week that guides small business owners on a path to success through talking to other small business owners. Now, this week's episode is all about social media marketing. I know that's something we all want to know about. And we have one of the best here with us today. Joining us is Habib Salo. He is CEO of Young Nails. And we're going to get into what Young Nails is in a moment. But it's important to know that Young Nails was one of the first nail brands ever on YouTube way back in 2009, one of the first to begin streaming on Twitch, and they won TikTok's #1 in beauty and style videos in 2019. We're about to get a crash course today in social media marketing. Habib, hello and welcome.
What's up, Carla Marie? How are you doing?
I'm great. So I think it's important for you to explain what Young Nails is and just give us the background on the company, because I know it's not a new company.
No, we've been around since '92, and it's a company my mom started when she was at the young age of 49 years old, which to me, I still think about that. It's so insane. Amazing human being she is, one of the strongest people that I know, and started this company, brought my brother on board, and I joined the company in 2000. And we manufacture nail care products, professional nail care products. And we're a family business. We've been doing this a very long time. We're super close. We've managed to not kill each other somehow, still like each other. And oddly enough, it's really brought us, super close and tight. But that's what we do. We manufacture professional nail care products.
And you also there is an also consumer side of your company as well.
Yes. And that's kind of been developing and shaping over the last 4 or 5 years, which has been super interesting in our, whole journey. But we do, it's professional products, but there's a whole market that's kind of evolved in this, social media culture. And they are consumers, and we do sell products to them as well.
So you can, by the way, people can drop questions for Habib. We will get to them later, so feel free to do that. But so you said you joined the company in 2000 when there was no social media.
There was no social media.
So, which is crazy. But at what point were you like, hey, we should probably join this YouTube thing?
Yeah. So in 2009, which wasn't long after YouTube, launched, we were it was hard for us to compete in the traditional marketing space because you need, deep pockets and a lot of money. So YouTube was free, and we were like, hey, why don't we make our own videos? So at that time we started in 2009, and we started making our own YouTube nail videos, like 1 video a month, education focused, how to do nails. And that's kind of where our journey started. It wasn't like a committed process, but let's just try this social media thing out, but we weren't hardcore committed to it. It was just kind of playing at that time.
And it's crazy because 2009 YouTube was still that time where you would just send your friend a stupid video you saw on YouTube. And it wasn't really an educational platform, but you guys saw that opportunity and jumped on it. And I feel like that's what your journey has been on every social media platform ever since. You see an opportunity and you jump into it.
Yeah. As soon as a platform comes out, so to speak, we start playing with it and experimenting with it. And it started, you're right, Carla Marie, it started with YouTube and Instagram, TikTok, all these other platforms. When they come out, our mindset is play, try, feel, experiment, get used to the platform to understand it. But a lot of experimentation goes into it, which surprises a lot of people.
So then how did you actually grow your following? Because now you're at, what is the number across all platforms?
I think it's pushing 5 million across all platforms. Which is, I know it's like, I think I say that and I'm like, that's insane. It's kind of crazy. Growing the platform, the focus for us, ironically has never been, let's grow followers. The focus has always been, let's create content that's going to really try to help somebody on the other side. So like an example of that would be, instead of us saying, hey, look at our nail polish, it's amazing, try our nail polish, it's the best nail polish in the world. What we do is we say, hey, did you know that when you apply nail polish, start from the middle of the nail and you'll get a cleaner application. And then people are like, ooh, let me try that. And then, yeah, who knew that? We focus on content that helps someone, gives them value. We start to build that trust and loyalty. And then from there, the following grows. And it's like a loyal, trusting community that we're building actually.
So you make sure that people get something out of everything you guys are putting out there.
Every single time. Like I always tell people, go to our Instagram page, and what you're going to see is, on our Young Nails, you're going to see videos of tips, tricks, education, how-tos, constantly how to build your salon business, things for the consumer, all the way to like the hardcore pro. We create content.
So if a small business owner is in here today and maybe they just like came up with this idea for a business a few weeks ago and they're like ready to start rolling and they're creating their social media accounts as soon as they, end this stream, where do they start?
Yeah, a good place to start is really it's so simple of an idea, but it's always when I talk to small business owners, they're always like, really? Like that's it? That's where you start? The starting point is focusing on that idea of, let me make a piece of content that will help somebody. So for example, if I'm in the construction business or, I would create content that's showing people, teaching them how to fix their plumbing, how to fix, a doorknob, or educational content where I'm not, selling them on my services. Like, hire me, I'll do the best, contractor work you've ever seen. More of, hey, let me show you what happens when you don't do X, Y, and Z correctly, and it affects your plumbing. That builds trust. That's where I would start, creating content like that. And then there's the whole consistency thing of like posting, where
that's a lot.
It's so big. It's probably one of the most overlooked parts of social media. People don't think, that I need to post consistently every single day, but it's such a huge part of the strategy. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that like, that takes out a variable, right? Because when you're posting every day, it's, that your mistake is not posting enough. You're like, okay, I'm posting every day, so I got that down. Is it my creative? Is it my, my copy? Is the content, are people not interested in this and this? It's so huge to create like a schedule and say, okay, every day at 9, I'm just going to post. And that consistency piece is massive.
And that sometimes seems like it's the hardest part for a business it's not necessarily creating the content or coming up with the content. It's the consistency part.
Yeah. What's interesting is when I talk to like nail professionals, I ask them, hey, look in your phone. How many nail pictures and videos do you have? And they're like, I have thousands. And I ask them, so why aren't you posting it? Because it's not perfect, because it's not what I like. It's not. And that whole idea of like the content needs to be absolutely perfect before I post it is such it's a wall for people. The truth of the matter is we really don't know what's going to work until you post it. Like, I used to think I knew what nail videos or shots were the best. And I thought I was like the judge, like, okay, don't post this and post that. And then we'd post something that I thought would never do well. And then it just like crushes.
And
and you're like, whoa. And then it's like, okay, what happened there? Why did that crush? Let's take note. Let's get some learnings out of that. And then maybe we can sort of narrow things down into like, maybe that's a trend right now, or, this is hot for the next 3 weeks. Let's capitalize on that and keep going.
So we're going to get into this week's 1 minute wisdom in a second, but
cool.
You keep talking about consistency and just always posting. So then at what point do you know to hire someone else to do the social media job? Because I'm assuming you're not the one that is posting everywhere all the time anymore.
Yeah, that's such a great question. So in the beginning, it was like myself and one other person, and we were literally doing it all. And I think it's good for small business owners to do that initially because you get to taste it and feel it and sort of get dangerous enough to do it on your own, you know. But ultimately, I'm not maybe the expert for it. So but doing it myself in the beginning allowed me to speak the language, right? And then after, it took me about a year and a half before we brought in one more person that I could offload, you know, okay, Instagram, you're going to handle this, or stories, you're going to handle this, or so now we have a team of, I think, 10 people in our marketing department that just crank social media on all the platforms. But it was a step-by-step hiring process, you know, but in the beginning, I wanted to learn everything and understand the platforms myself. That way, when I did hire, I knew what to look for. I wasn't just like, oh, I have no idea how to do this Instagram thing. You do it. You know, let me just hire you. I wanted to speak the language.
Now, when you said it took a year and a half, that wasn't from 2009 when you started YouTube. No. That was
correct. Later. No, this was really, so from 2009 to 2017, we were, you know, just we weren't active on the platforms. 2017, we got super aggressive on YouTube, on Instagram, and then it started to branch from there. TikTok, LinkedIn, Snapchat, you know, really getting hardcore on all the platforms. But that's really when we started getting like consistency, you know, daily posting, 2 YouTube videos a week, going hardcore. And then now, you know, we post 7 days a week. We put out like 50 pieces of content a day, I think, on all the platforms. It's like it's a machine now. It really, you know, our marketing team is phenomenal, and they know how to crank it out now. We have a formula now.
Wow. 50 pieces a week sounds very overwhelming. But like you said, any small business owner who's watching this right now, there's a team of people doing that right now. And you didn't start at 50 pieces of content a week. It's actually 50 pieces of content a day. A day?
A day. Yeah. That's what we put out on Instagram, stories, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I know it sounds insane, but it took time. It works for us. Absolutely. But it took time. We started with 1 post a day on Instagram and 2 YouTube videos a week. And that was overwhelming at the time. And then as you build, you bring on people, you hire, like there's no way I could have done that myself. You know, the only way I can do that today is because we have a team, for sure.
Okay, good. Because you almost gave me a heart attack there for a second. Okay, so let's get into this week's 1 minute wisdom. It is from Viv Yao, and she is the founder of Be Influence.
Hi everyone, I'm Viv Yao, founder of influencer marketing agency Be Influence based in the UK. Here are 3 quick tips on how to market your small business using TikTok. Number 1, don't worry about the follower numbers. TikTok is an incredible content discovery platform, meaning that if your content is engaging enough, it will reach new audiences, unlike other social media platforms. Number 2, be niche. TikTok houses so many incredible creators, not just Gen Z people performing dance routines as you might think. Just search for hashtags related to your industry to find your community. Number 3, most importantly, have fun. Some of the best content performs well on TikTok when you are just having fun, and don't worry about high production too. Mobile phone quality is what people are used to seeing on the app. Good luck and have fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Viv. If you're just joining us, we are here with Habib. He is the CEO of Young Nails. We're talking all about social media marketing and how Young Nails grew from 0 followers to over 5 million followers across all platforms. And one of the things that I love that you and your brother do, Habib, is you are the face of your brand. And a lot of small business owners are scared of that. They're like, I don't want to put my face out there. But was that a conscious decision for you guys? Like, no, we need to be the face of this nail brand.
Yeah, it was. So let me say this, Carl Marie, like it was a conscious decision. For my brother, he's kind of natural. He's been making nail videos like since 2009, right? So by the time we decided to go like hardcore on all the platforms in 2017, he was like, cool. I was terrified. Like, and this is how most small business owners, they're like, I can't get in front of the camera. I'm like, I totally get it, you know? So I spent like what I did was I knew I had to start coming on because we wanted to make a connection with our community. And there's no better way to do that than for the two of us to be on the cameras, really connecting with people in that way in our content. And so I was like filming myself with my iPhone and like editing it and like, oh my God, I sound awful. My voice, I don't like what am I saying? I'm saying dumb things like, just totally like very insecure, very self-conscious. And then after 3 months, I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And now, like when I see a camera,
now you're like
I'm
the
like
host of Young Nails.
My gosh. It's like I see a camera, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up? It's totally, I love it now. It's so much fun. So I would say like, just because if you're scared or you think you're not going to be good at it, like you have to give it a try because that was my experience and now I love it.
So our questions are starting to come in from people watching. Anthony said, which platform do you think has contributed to the most sales?
That's a great question. Instagram, if I had to put, it's Instagram for sure.
Well, they also have a shopping platform too.
They absolutely do. And the way that Facebook and Instagram's, ad product works on the back end, it's very sophisticated. And, if you have somebody that really understands how to manage that, you can really drive sales. But I will say like, YouTube is a huge contributor as well. So if I'm going to go 1 and 2, I'm going to say Instagram and YouTube 100%.
So you guys are also on Twitch now. You do a show on Twitch. Now, I also have a show on Twitch, but most people think of Twitch as gamers. You and I are not gamers. You're a nail company. So what are you doing on Twitch?
Yeah, this is another great question. So we've been watching Twitch very closely over the last 3 years. And what we've seen is that, I think 3 years ago, it was like, the stats were like 70% male to 30% female. It's not like that anymore. There are so many women, first of all, like gaming, but watching gaming, the audience, I think it's now like 55-45. Wow. But also, we want to represent like nails and cosmetics and any way we can, for women on Twitch. And we do a lot of, we connect with a lot of female gamers who are unbelievable. And we want to bring that more to Twitch. And we just see a huge opportunity. The thing is too, is that Twitch is evolving. It's not, there's like fitness, there's DJs, there's obviously you guys, there's like tons of like radio shows, like your own radio show on Twitch that you guys are doing right now, which by the way is, I tell you guys all the time, I love what you guys are doing. It's amazing. And, it's expanding and growing into other interests outside of gaming. And I know that Twitch doesn't want to just stick with gaming. So we like to get in things like early and play. Yeah. And that's kind of what Twitch is for us now. We built a small community on there but it's an amazing community and it's our favorite platform right now. We absolutely love Twitch. Yeah, we love it.
So you have a huge following across all of social media. Does your audience ever help guide your actual business and the business decisions you make as a nail company? Yeah,
it's another really, really good question. This is one of the benefits of building a community, taking the time, creating value-based content, building a community on these platforms, because what ends up happening is once you start building that community, they start giving you feedback. And they start telling you what they like, what they don't like. It's kind of like this massive focus group that it turns into. And so they absolutely help drive decisions. As a matter of fact, they're part of the business now, which is, it's crazy if you think about it, but it's also beautiful. We get ideas from them. They say they want this, they want that. We look into it for product development purposes and go, hey, the market, our community, they're asking for this. Let's do it. If we're testing products, we go to them and say, what do you guys think of this? Is this something that you would enjoy? Yes or no. They're very honest. No, I wouldn't be into that. Yes, that's really cool. I totally would be into that. So we start to make them part of the product development process. So it starts to kind of feed on itself. It's awesome, And so yes, they're a huge part of our business decisions.
So Leo just sent a message. He said, do you follow the trend of social media platform popularity and bring your business there as well, like TikTok and Clubhouse?
Yeah. So TikTok, you're talking about like platforms, when platforms become trendy, do we hop on them?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we will play. So when a new platform comes to market, we jump on it as soon as possible and we start playing and see, is this for us? Are we finding our community on this platform? Is it going to take more time? And so we've jumped on TikTok, early, and we were able to grow an amazing following there. On Clubhouse, we did jump on. We played with it a little bit. We're still playing with Clubhouse. We haven't settled, but we did create an account, and we did some some panels and talk nails and beauty. And it was fun.
So
it was
visual as well.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. It very much is. Like, you want to see the color, especially color, right? Color is a huge part of nails. Totally.
Well, a lot of your videos are like the oddly satisfying videos where like you're watching someone paint a nail I'm like, why did I just watch that? Because it was so amazing. I'm going to go get my nails done by someone. I'm not going to do it.
Yes.
So Amy said, with hindsight being 2020, what is one thing you would have done differently?
Oh, wow. If there's one thing I would have done differently, I probably would have maybe looked to hire people a little bit earlier, because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, we have these habits of like, no, I can still do it. Like, no, I'm the guy, I'm the owner. I can, and it is the worst thing that you can do. And I've learned a lot through this process of hiring amazing people in our marketing and let them take over and just crush it. And so if there's one thing I would have done, it's probably, because I think, I went a year and a half before I hired the first person, and it took me a while to hire the second. I should have gone a little quicker on going the second, maybe third, fourth. Because now that we have an amazing team, I'm almost addicted to the process of like, I want to bring on amazing people, because I see the result of it.
Yeah, I'm sure after you hired someone who is amazing, you're like, why didn't I have you sooner?
110%, Carla Marie. That's when you bring on somebody that is like, a team that is amazing, you're just like, you step back and you let them do their thing, and you just don't get involved too much. And I've learned how to do that.
This question from Maddie just came in. What changes in the social media landscape have surprised you the most?
God, there's been a lot of changes. I would say Instagram has gone through probably the most changes. I mean, I remember when it was like organic and, all of a sudden, like Instagram and Facebook, it was like, you're not reaching your followers. There was like a huge shift in their algorithm, and it was like, boom, that was probably the most like shocking, because we were thinking like, are we doing something wrong? Is our content messed up? And it had us questioning a lot of things until we learned that, they just want you to start, if you want to push out to all your followers, you got to sort of pay to play, and they want you to get into like the advertising part of it. That was probably the most shocking, I think, was that shift. But here's the thing about social media that now I'm no longer surprised with, is that platforms, they just change. Like even TikTok, we've seen a lot of shifts, things that work, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore. And we have to change our content. We have to experiment and try new things on the platform to see what is going to, start working again. And, so it's always evolving. All the platforms, they're always shifting on their end, and you just got to keep up.
It's like dating, truly. Like being a part of a social media platform, it's like, all right, what's the new dating game everyone's doing now? True. That's seriously what it's like. It's funny you mentioned the ad. I had been doing research for this episode and was on your website. Yeah. And an hour later, I got an Instagram ad for Young Nails. So it's working. It's working.
Good. Good.
So Dylan asks, for a new business, do you suggest creating lots of content right away on social media, or was it worth holding back until you found what content fits your business?
Yeah, I would start slow, and because we did, and you start with, my suggestion is like, start with like, okay, I'm going to post once a day on Instagram. Start with that, because that's what we did, and keep it consistent. And when you're like, okay, I got that down, then go to 2 posts a day, and then maybe branch off and say, let me do 1 post a day on TikTok also, and then, hey, am I into long form content? Okay, let me go on to YouTube and see if I can do 1 long form video a month and keep consistent with that for 6 months. And then maybe I can bump it up. So you wanna scale up nice and slowly, because if you try to do too much off the bat, you're gonna get way overwhelmed. You're gonna get bummed out and like, I can't do this. And I don't want that for you. I'd rather you start slow, get consistent, and ramp up from there.
So I've seen a lot of conflicting information out there from social media experts on what to do as a business. So I want to know what's worked for you, because I know every business is different. A lot of them will say, go where your audience is. If you know your audience is, Gen Z and they're on TikTok, don't worry about Instagram. And it doesn't seem like that's what you guys have done at all.
I'm a huge believer in for our industry, I think it's understanding your industry too, and your business and where your business is. Like a lot of my business is on Instagram, right? Nails is on Instagram, but maybe LinkedIn, I'm not going to find a lot of like nail content there, right? So that's how we plan our content strategy is, okay, I know where my audience is, so I'm going to produce the most content where they are, but I'm not going to leave LinkedIn out completely. We're still going to be active on there because maybe it might develop, but I'm not going to focus a lot of my time there. So I think that's being smart and efficient. I still do like platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Those are so mature. So any industry that you're in, I feel like you can find your community on there, and even Facebook too. People still kind of, they don't give Facebook a lot of credit, but there's a demographic and age group that is on there. And if they can potentially be a customer, I think you should be putting your content on there too. And you can double up through Instagram, connect your Facebook, and you can post in 2 places.
And we sometimes forget that people don't only shop for themselves. They do shop for other people in their lives. So, maybe my mom sees something on Facebook that I wouldn't have seen, and she's like, oh, this is great for Carla Marie. So that's what we have to remember as business owners from time to time.
100%.
Okay, so how do people find you and stalk you now and learn all the things that you're doing? Is it Young Nails Inc. on everything?
Yeah, it's at Young Nails Inc. Literally on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, everything. Absolutely 100%.
All right, so we'll be following, and when the next platform comes out, I can't wait to see what Young Nails is doing. Habib, thank you for being here today. If you watched this live and joined late, you can listen to the podcast when it comes out next week. We appreciate all the insight you gave. I'm going to go back and watch and take notes because I wasn't able to take notes now, and I can't wait. Thank you, Habib.
Thank you so much.